Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and today's December 19th and I'm going to be reading on Donald John Trump's December 21st through the 27th using the Maybe Lenormand and the Radiant Rider Waite that I've cut down so that I've trimmed these cards so that I can fit them into frame easier. Okay, so hold on, let me get back into his disgusting energy. Okay, so what's really going on in his life? The forces in motion. His challenges. Okay. What he's actually doing. Okay, whether or not he's attracting any success and his future. Okay. That looks like a whole lot of lawsuits coming down, to tell you the truth, with that one. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the Lenormand, and I'll fill in the blanks here. Or get more info. Well, let's see. I'm not sure how. Well, probably something like that. Okay. All right. Okay, so forces in motion. Okay. His challenges. Yep. That's an interesting combo. Okay. Let's see. Next is his actions, what he's doing. Okay, I think I'm going to need a little more there. Oh, yeah. Right. That makes sense. Okay, so up here for whether or not he's attracting success. How's all of this going to go for him? Okay. Let's add a couple more cards there. Okay. And let's see. Oh, actually I do have a little more room down here. Okay, good. You guys are so patient with me. I'm always putzing, I know it. Okay. One more here for what he's attracting, like whether or not it's successful. Okay. We'll see what that brings. Okay, and then his future. More information about all this overwhelm, this oppression, this burden on him. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And, right. And one more. Okay. All right, so bear with me, and I've got a lot of information sitting here. Let's dive in, though. Okay, so with the forces in motion, like what's really going on in his life? Well, he's living living large, bigly. He's living bigly. He's, you know, it's a place where he's in the lap of luxury, of course. And so he's probably golfing, you know, it's the week of Christmas. He's going to be hanging out with his family or whoever will hang out with him. And I mean, with the Nine of Pentacles, of course, it's everything to do with luxury and opulence. it's really just, I'm thinking in the context of this question, it's him being, in his comfortable home. Um, and I can't really say anything more than that. He's just kind of focusing on that. So it's kind of a mild week for like what's really going on. So he's basically not working. For sure, you can see that because it's, he's in the luxury stage of it. If we had the Eight of Pentacles, we could say, well, what's he working on? Hope it's going to be license plate someday. But no, this is or it could be license plate someday. But for this week, it's going to be him just hanging out at home, and this has to do with the flowers. We're in that realm of invitations, maybe even something kind of maybe a little bit of a surprise invitation. And it has to do with exchanging gifts or receiving a gift. And so this is him at home, surrounded by who he cares about and people that care about him. But I mean, we know they don't really know how to love, and they don't really know what real care is about. So this isn't that exciting, but we can see what's going on. So basically, no work. He's just playing with people he wants to play with. There's probably golfing involved, because he always does. Now, his challenges are with the Two of Pentacles. That has him in that, juggling things. His challenges is, I think money management is going to be a big problem for him. Because with the Two of Pentacles, you have to, you got to manage, you got to manage your money. With him, he's got that connection with Putin, so he's managing that, even though, of course, Putin's already, he's already given his, congratulatory whatever to Biden, who knows how, how sincere it was. But, I just feel like this is just his constant chaos that's always going around him or going on around him, and he's always juggling it. And, we know he's got so much negative pleasure, like so much, life force, like tied into negative pleasure, that he doesn't even realize how out of balance he truly is, and how he's not aligned with, any type of spiritual law, universal law, or divine law, except for that he uses his mind to get what he wants. I mean, he's good at that. But because he's not in alignment with anything that's loving and true, what happens is that, eventually the energy works against yourself. And that's that's been happening in his life many times over. And so there's juggling, but there's also loss. With the mice card here, we have, something is minimized. Something's eating away at him. Maybe somebody's even stealing from him, which, he would deserve, because he's been terrible his entire life. But it's also, like, this is the little, in the Lenormand, this is the little, like, Pluto and Uranus card. So it can be a surprising loss or a shocking loss. And it could have to do with somebody that that has provided warmth for him in the past. This card is all about, like, being warm by a fireplace, and somebody caring for you. But there's loss there. So he does, we can see he is at home, and he is trying to, or there at least is the opportunity, the invitation for him to have like some warmth and care. But then there's a loss here. And to me, it's that place where he really can't receive it inside, because he's so, he's so distorted with his life force and his negative pleasure. He doesn't know how to receive real love. Like, the dude is just really messed up. So I feel like this card, it didn't come through reverse. It came through straight up. I feel like the main meaning is um, a lot of ups and downs. If we just look at it this way, it's like ups and downs, and that's how he does live. He's always kind of like on a roller coaster. That's his MO, and I think that lifestyle at this point is causing some type of loss, and it would be the loss of having real warm care and affection. So because he literally does not know how to receive that, and that eats away at his soul on a daily basis. So as far as his plans or actually actions, this time I asked for actions rather than plans. Well, with the Queen of Swords, there's some clarity there. There is some type of an intelligence going on, but what's it about? And I wonder if this has to do with him actually protecting himself from Letitia James or Cy Vance Jr. or some of these lawsuits coming down on him, because we have the tower, which in the Lenormand is of course all about legal institutions, the law. Or it's one of the law cards. The book could also stand for law, but this has to do with like some big institution that he's not, he's not in control over. Of course, this could be the place where he's always tried to have his control through the government. But I get the feeling that this has to do more with Letitia James, like I was saying, and she's questioning. She's going in there with her sword, and she's got the sword of truth, and she's questioning his honor and his integrity as to how he has run his business, which is Trump Towers all over the like Trump International, Trump Incorporated, and how because of like his brand, he's been able to seduce. And it's also been very dark. So there's this seduction. And so I think this is on two levels. I think this is Letitia James and the connection to, all the state laws that are going against him. And she's questioning his honor and his integrity as to how he's managed it in the past, and how they have pulled money and seduced it into like these dark forces. Yeah, you know what? I am like empathing something right now. So this is really, really bothering him. It's really bothering him. I can feel the fear that's coming up within him. He is really, really having trouble with this. And it's affecting his heart. So that's really interesting. Okay, so this is the whole money laundering RICO charges that I think are going to be coming down on him, that can literally take him out. I don't know if he'll live through this, you guys, honestly. Wow. Whew. Take a deep breath and let go of that one. Yikes. Okay, so moving forward, so I have the Page of Wands here reversed as to like what he's attracting and whether he's going to be successful or not. Well, the answer is no. This is all about really bad news. So he's attracting bad news, And it could have to do with you know, lies that have been told in the past. So, and it's also, it could also be manipulating somehow. Like the way, oh, I get it. I get it. It has to do with, these cards are really going together now for some reason. So he's planning on protecting himself. While he has this downtime and he has more time to think, and he's pretty much said, you know, what's the word, you know, rather than the words I really want to use, how else can I, here, I'll say it this way. He's given the bird to his job as POTUS, right? So now he has time to think, and he's worried about what's coming down from, you know, SDNY and Cy Vance Jr., you know, so Manhattan and oh my goodness, the whole 9 yards, both of those guys. And he's feeling that place where they're tapped into how he has manipulated. So we're talking, you know, again, that insurance fraud and tax evasion, how he has manipulated his whole past. So that's what's coming down on him. That's the news, and he's thinking about it. That's what he's attracting. So no, he won't be successful. Of course, with the Page of Wands, this is, you know, when this card comes through, it can be very pessimistic. So he's also, if I add these two with it, he's also acting impulsively and selfishly, and he's going to be, you know, just a big old bag of hot air and hot wind like he naturally is, but it's going to be even worse. And you add all this together, and you've got a big mess of like stress, like looking at somebody with having a emotional reaction. I'm getting emotional reaction, ego fragmented spin that his family's going to be holding space for, or not. This card could be isolation too. They could get tired of it, and even though this is supposed to be the cards for his actions, but I think he could be even isolating himself away from all this that's coming down. Because man, those feelings I just got in my body around this, it's really, really stressing him out. He is very afraid. So his future. Well, with the Ten of Wands, of course, you know, you guys have listened to me so many times. You know that this is all about an overload. It's all about, you know, tremendous overwhelm. And you have to be a really strong person to handle something like this. Well, he mentally is not. We know that he has mental illness, and we know that he's having a hard time. So, on top of all this stress, we can add what's going on in the social media, the public sphere, the you know, all the, just everything's swimming around in the public. I mean, just imagine, like, everything. He's being shamed. I mean, and of course, because he deserves it. The only people he has on his side are people with the same type of mental illness that he has. You know, people who believe in this like cult leader that they've been following. So that's all he's got going for himself, is where he can just talk trash and tweet and try to seduce and, you know, get people to impulsively, you know, back him. But who's he got? I mean, I don't want to say their names, but it's like starts with P and ends with B, and then there's that other thing that starts with Q, and what I mean, they're just nuts. So his future is really burdened. Of course he's guilty. Of course he hasn't taken self-responsibility. And there's this public burden on him because of his, the money that he has taken, and his family, his crime family. This is literally like the Trump crime family right here. So in the future, there's going to be more and more and more burden coming down, and more public pain. He is going to have to live through the karma that he has created, which will mean that he's going to have to suffer some humiliation. And it's because he's been very, selfish, and it's because he has, taken in a lot of money. I mean, what is it, over 200? I don't know. I mean, sometimes I read 207 million, and other times I've seen 250 million. I don't know how much he's actually taken in to his campaign to try and fight, fight. And then we have this idiot, I won't say his name either, but starts with an A and ends with a J. And I refuse to read on that guy, so don't ask me to read on him. Excuse me. Who said Biden's going out one way or the other. So that's the kind of, crazy, insane mess that is going on. We have a lot of really negative cards here. The mice and the I don't see dangerous cards though, so that's good. But the mice and the clouds are terrible, especially combined with like your honor and your reputation. And what I felt in his body that's going on, what I empath, that man, dude's not doing well at all. And this is his future. This burden for the money he's taken in and what his family has taken in and what they've done in the past, the whole Trump crime family, that's coming down on him. So this week, for the 21st through the 27th, he is really thinking about that because he has time. He's got some downtime. And it might be what occupies, wouldn't it be if it were any one of us, if you had that same level coming down? If you had been involved with the mob and Russian mob, if you were born into a mob family, or who was tied with the mob, which he was, the Genovese family, and if you were in bed with the Russian mob all your life, and you're finally getting caught, you're finally getting caught and you're going to be busted on RICO charges, or at the very least, go down on some tax evasion and insurance fraud. Wouldn't you be sweating bullets? I'm surprised that he can sleep. If he does, I have no idea, personally, what he goes through. But what I just felt in my body was I wouldn't want to be even, a mile near that. So I think we've been witnessing the beginning of the end, but this is getting much, much closer to the beginning of the end. Wow. Okay, well, I guess that's all I have for this. I can't add anything on unless I were to draw more cards, but honestly, you guys, I don't want to be sitting in his energy anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up and get it uploaded for you. And I'll be back. I don't know how soon I can get to some more viewer questions, but I'll do my best. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Take care. Bye.